තමයි
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the 8th International Conference on Climate Change 2024. And I would like to welcome all of our virtual participants who have joined with us right now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is the 8th consecutive year of the journey of this conference. And this time, the conference is upon the theme, Effective and Innovative Solutions for Achieving Net Zero. Before we commence, we are proud to be partnering with the Haritha TV today, who will be broadcasting today's event. We welcome all the key personals of the conference, the participants, the invitees, the session chairs, the evaluation panel members, and especially the chief guest, Mr. Leel Randhani, the Director, Climate Change from the Ministry of Environment, our conference chair, Professor Erandhathi Lokapitiya, our keynote speaker, Professor Roshanka Ranasinghe, our plenary speakers, Professor Keith Paukstan, Harsha Wickramasinghe, and all the representatives from our hosting and academic partners. I wish all the participants a very productive and meaningful conference for the next 2 days. Before we proceed further this morning, we shall inaugurate the ceremony with our traditional ceremonial lighting of the oil lamp. For that, I would like to request the following people to come forward to light the oil lamp. The conference chair, Professor Erandhathi Lokapitiya, the conference convener, Mr. Isanka P. Gamage, Professor Roshanka Ranasinghe, Mr. Harsha Wickramasinghe, the conference secretary, Ms. Mimi Sharmila, and one of our valued participants, and also the CEO of the Haritha TV, Mr. Mahesh Bandara. Thank you so much, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially started the 8th International Conference on Climate Change 2024. Before we proceed further this morning, I would like to request all of you to rise up from your seats for the national anthem of our mother Lanka.
Namo
Thank you so much, everyone. You may now take your seats. To officially welcome the gathering, representing the main organizing body, the International Institute of Knowledge Management, I may now invite the Managing Director and the co-founder of the International Institute of Knowledge Management, Mr. Isanka P. Gamage. Mr. Isanka P. Gamage is the co-founder and the Managing Director of the International Institute of Knowledge Management in Sri Lanka. Serving on the board of Studies Institute of Management Sri Lanka, he has convened over 350 international conferences across 8 countries. Mr. Isanka has collaborated with Nobel laureates, academic gurus, over 450 international universities, and prominent professionals globally. He is actively involved in various consortiums and associations, focusing on achieving sustainable development goals for the Global South through knowledge-sharing initiatives. Mr. Isanka is also an NLP-certified life coach and a mentor. He is pursuing his Doctor of Business Administration at the University of Kelaniya, having completed a CE MBA and BSc in Marketing and a Bachelor in Therapeutic Counseling as well. Mr. Isanka, is over to you.
Thank you very much, Pansilu. I would like to welcome all of you in a traditional Sri Lankan way. It's called Aibowan. It has a meaning. I'm wishing you a long life. So that's the traditional Sri Lankan welcome. So, and also I would like to welcome all the distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and all other participants joining in our virtual platform by saying good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, because there are participants representing different countries, almost 26 countries, 16 country representation physically, plus more than that in virtually as well. So talking about this 8th International Conference on Climate Change, we are going to start today and going to do today and tomorrow in the vibrant city in Colombo under the theme of effective and innovative solutions for achieving net zero. So all of we are gathered here under this theme. As we stand at the forefront of critical decade in our fight against climate change, the significance of our gathering cannot be overstated. So with participation from 26 countries, this conference is a testament to the global consensus on the urgency of addressing climate change and the shared commitment on achieving net zero emission. So talking about, again, our conference, so we started this conference in 2017. So we did the first conference in Colombo. Then, of course, in 2018 and 19, we did the conference in Malaysia. Then after that, actually, we stuck in a virtual way. So 2019 and 2020, just before the pandemic, we did the conference in Malaysia. After that, we stuck in a virtual way. Then last year, we did the conference again in the hybrid format. So this is the 8th year. Then, throughout our conferences, so what we thought, to give opportunities and gather scientists from different parts of the world to exchange their knowledge and experiences among this gathering. And also, not only scientists, we try to invite policymakers as well as industries, practitioners also, because we thought this should be the gathering. Obviously, this is not a very big conference, but very diversified conference, just like a family. So small numbers, but representing different countries. So as a part of our objective, we're always trying to develop more network and create more collaborations while sharing different knowledge and experiences. So as a result of that, I think there are a couple of participants who join us today from our last conference as well, who started a couple of collaborations among those last year participants, and they are going to present some of their joint research and some of collaborative activities as well. So that's the beauty of this conference. So, and also after the conference, obviously, most of you as an academic, so one of your goals will be publication. So we are supporting for that as well. We already joined a couple of journals, so we are going to publish selected best articles in those journals. So that's another support we are giving. And also, if you have a look, our program is diversified. So especially with keynote speeches, plenary speeches, then a couple of workshops, and also technical sessions, poster sessions, and networking sessions. So that's how we line up our conference. So covering to give more opportunities, to share your knowledge, to grab more knowledge, and start some collaborations with each other. Specifically, we set up a networking session. In there, we are going to discuss different topics and to see how we can make some collaborations among you in future. Maybe some joint research, maybe some joint projects in different scales. Then, before moving to my main duty, I just want to give another insight about TIKM as well, as Fansil mentioned, especially the International Institute of Knowledge Management. We are based in Sri Lanka, but working with more than 350 universities across the globe under different projects. We have different collaborations in covering all the regions. Especially, we are trying to make more collaborations among our collaborative partners to start new projects, new research, and different knowledge sharing activities. So that's what we are doing as a Knowledge Management Institute. We always create in different platforms, in different under different subject domains to share knowledge, as well as we highly focus in about Global South concept to give more opportunities for Global South countries to get together to share their knowledge, as well as connecting Global North countries to share their knowledge among these Global South countries as well, in different ways. Then with that, I want to start my main responsibility by welcoming all of you, starting our own conference chair, Professor Arandhati Lokopetia. She's the main pillar of this conference from the inception of this conference concept. So she's behind us. So without considering day and night, she's working with our team to make sure the quality standard of this conference, as well as so giving all the guidance and achieving our common goal and common vision. Then I would like to warmly welcome Madam to this conference. Then our chief guest yet to come, I would like to mention Mr. Leel Randeni, Director, Climate Change, Minister of Environment in Sri Lanka. Then Professor Roshan Karanasinha, Professor of Climate Change, Impacts and Coastal Risk, etc. And in Climate Change, Impacts and Coastal Risk, IHE Delft Institute for Water Education in Netherlands. I would like to welcome you as well, Professor, for inviting our invitation to join with us. I know, especially during your speech, there will be a lot of things to share among this gathering. So as well as after that also, so most of participants who are joining with us, senior scientists as well as young scientists, so your experiences as well as a lot of your knowledge will be very important for them as well. So again, I would like to welcome you. Then Mr. Harsha Wickramasinghe, so as one of our plenary speaker, Deputy Director, General Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority. He also yet to come. I would like to welcome him as well. Then our plenary speaker, Professor Keith, he's going to join virtually. Then from United Asia. Then and also I would like to just mention publication workshop, publication chair, Dr. Eleanor Milne, from affiliate scientist and independent consultant, Colorado State University in USA. I would like to welcome her as well. Especially, she's going to discuss with more about possible publication in after the conference, especially with young scientists, because we know your next goal is to publish your research paper in a Scopus Index journal. So that's why we are making this type of workshop to support to you. Then all other session chairs, evaluation panel members who accepted our invitation letters to be a session chair as well as evaluation panel member. So I'd like to welcome all of you as well, because you are going to run this conference after the inauguration session. So all of your support will be very important. Smoothly run this conference during these 2 days, as well as especially during the from the evaluation panel members also, especially your feedback will be very important for all of them. Then all other committee members, I would like to mention different committees we set up during almost last year. During this 1 year period, we had a lot of activities we had to do, of course, from the scientific committee as well as different other committee members who supported us to disseminate this conference information among different countries. So I would like to welcome all the committee members physically as well as all others who are joining with the virtual platform as well. Then all the reviewers have done a tremendous work by reviewing most of our abstracts. Then also, very importantly, all the presenters who are joining with us today physically and virtually. Especially I would like to welcome all the physical participants who are joining with us here today, representing 16 countries. So obviously it's not an easy task. So during this time period, we know all around the world there's a economic crisis going on. Most of funding has cut down from universities, but you got some funding, you came here. So there are a couple of objectives behind that task, especially if you got the funding from your university or from your organization. Of course, to present your research findings in this gathering, as well as after that, these days, everyone talking about collaborations. So try to utilize these 2 days to find some more collaboration. So that's another thing you should do. Then all other attendees, as well as our brand ambassadors and country coordinators who are joining with us from different countries, as well as all other invitees and all of our volunteers. I would like to warmly welcome all of you to this conference. Then especially for all our partners, there are few invitees who are joining with us representing our partnering organizations from Association for Environment Management and Sustainability, then all other academic partners, Postgraduate Institute of Science, University of Peradeniya in Sri Lanka, then Mulavarman University from Indonesia, Swan University of Technology, South Africa, then University of Nigeria, Nushka in Nigeria, then Rambhai Brani Rajabat University in Thailand, then Bangladesh Environment and Development Society in Bangladesh as supporting partner, then Sri Samshaya Education Trust in India, as well as our strategic partners, Global Climate Change Foundation in Bangladesh and Sri Lankan Convention Bureau, and also our media partner, Harta TV. I would like to welcome the CEO from Harta TV, as well as all other media team who are doing live broadcasting through that Harta TV. So all of you can share their YouTube channel, because they are broadcasting this entire conference live through their social media as well as through their TV channel. Then other media partner, Bonview Publishing. Yeah, so those are our main partners. So to wind up my welcome speech, before moving to the last message, I just want to mention very important thing, because all of you have different knowledge. Every conference I am making this note, because we have knowledge, but if we are not put it into practice, we are wasting our time. And also, if you are not passing our knowledge to others, that's also we are wasting. That's how we can change this world. So we have to exchange our knowledge, and we have to put into practice our knowledge. Then we can change this world, especially when it comes to this climate change. So everyone experiencing this. So you have really good ideas. You have, as scientists, you are doing really great work. But if you want to do some change, don't wait someone supporting to you. What you have to do, you have to be strong. You have to put a tiny step. Then, if you have a strong mindset, you can do a lot of changes to this world. Just imagine that tiny virus make the biggest impact to the world. As human beings, how we can change this world is not a difficult task. But we need the strong mindset, then like-minded people will join with you. Slowly, just like a snowball effect, we can change this world. We can make a sustainable world, but we have to collaborate people like you. So that's why we created this conference, to exchange knowledge and make more collaborations. With that note, I would like to wrap up my welcome speech. Enjoy Sri Lanka for most of you who join with us here from different part of the world. So if you have a time, visit a couple of places in Colombo city at the evening. Just walk in distance. You can get real experience at the evening in the green path, in the golf face. As well as if you have a couple of days, please visit some other places in Sri Lanka, Kandy, Galle. There are plenty of beautiful places. As a scientist, you may be able to find a lot of things in Sri Lanka. So let's discuss those things during these 2 days, and welcome again to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Isankar, for your earnest welcome address. Today, we are privileged to have Professor Erandati Lokopitiya as our conference chair for the 8th International Conference on Climate Change 2024. Professor Erandati Lokopitiya received her PhD from Colorado State University, USA, and her PhD research focused on climate change and land-atmosphere exchange of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions. She also served as a research scientist for about 4 years at the Department of Atmospheric Science of Colorado State University. Before she joined the University of Colombo in Sri Lanka, 2012, she has served as the principal investigator of several national and international research projects related to climate change and carbon cycle researches. She has served as the national expert for preparation for greenhouse gas inventory of Sri Lanka. She has served in several national level committees, including the National Expert Committee for Mitigation of Climate Change. She has been serving as a professor in environmental sciences at the Department of Zoology and Environmental Sciences of the Faculty of Science of the University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. She is also involved in teaching, research, and awareness creation of climate change as an important national and global environmental issue. She is serving as the coordinator of the MSc in Climate Change and Environmental Management program offered by the University of Colombo, and she is the founding director of the Center for Environmental Initiatives of the University of Colombo as well. She has published her research in reputed international journals and served as a reviewer for the large number of international journals as well. She is currently serving as the national consultant for mitigation in the Enhanced Transparency Framework, Agriculture, Forestry, and other land use project at the Ministry of Environment, Sri Lanka. Dear Madam, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Pansilu. On behalf of the organizing committee and the scientific
දැන් ඩීප්ටෙක් සෝලා වෙතින් වගාපිමට අවශ්‍ය සූර්ය ජලපොම්ප පද්ධති සහ නිවසට අවශ්‍ය ඔන්-ග්‍රිඩ් සූර්ය බල පද්ධති රැසක් ඩීප්ටෙක් වෙතින්. වැඩි විස්තර සඳහා අමතන්න 077 000 77 03.
මම shopping කරලා එන්නම්.
ඔබේ ජීවන රටාවට ගැලපෙන බැංකුකරණය Next Gen එකේ digital banking partner People's Bank.
හිරු එළිය ගහකොළ ජලය
technology. So we still don't know whether this can be practiced worldwide. And the plan is to, if you use DAC to capture more than 85 million tons of CO2 in 2030 and about 980 million by 2050. If we can do this at a very high rate, because right now, as at today, the rate is only 0.01 metric tons of carbon per year. So it's very, it's also an ambitious target. And then if you sequester this carbon deep underground, then you call it geologic sequestration of CO2, where CO2 from atmosphere and other industrial processes can be captured, compressed into a liquid, and then injected deep underground. So these are some of the approaches the world has been planning. And there are nature-based solutions where you can take actions to protect, conserve, restore, and sustainably use and manage natural or modified terrestrial ecosystems. So it's an ecosystem-based approach mostly to provide humans with their well-being, ecosystem services, resilience and biodiversity conservation and so on. And there are some of the examples are protecting forest and other ecosystems, restoring them to increase carbon capture, carbon sequestration, along with other ecosystem benefits such as clean water supply, biodiversity conservation, and so on. This is where I think most of the nations are moving in this direction, in this greener pathway to enhance greenery and carbon capture, and also agricultural practices. They also would become farmers, green agricultural practices that would give farmers alternative employment opportunities and diversified income sources for them. So there are other more innovative actions, as you all know, like using artificial intelligence, AI and machine learning to monitor and optimize energy use, and then capture waste heat and convert it back to energy using green hydrogen and nuclear energy. There are some debated options such as nuclear energy, waste to energy as well. Otherwise, low carbon building material, fuels, and all sorts of things are there. So according to the 2023 global stocktake, under the Paris Agreement, every 5 years there is this global stocktake, and 2023 was the very first one we had recently. So if we are to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, that means we need to reduce our emissions by 43% compared to 1990 levels by 2030, and we need to reduce our emissions, present greenhouse gas emissions by 60% compared to 2019 by 2035. So it's a huge task, and also we need to move away from deforestation, as the agriculture, forestry, and other land use sector was responsible for about 22% of the global greenhouse gas emissions in 2019, according to the latest global stocktake. And it recommends us what we can do is scaling up renewables and reduce fossil fuel use and reduce emissions across industry and transport through increased energy efficiency, electrification, and effective demand-side management, and making our deforestation activities net zero, and adopt policies to conserve and restore forest land and carbon stocks, and protect our natural ecosystems through programs like RED Plus and payment for forest-based ecosystem services, etc. And demand-side management, for example, shifting to sustainable, healthy diets, that's your part. And I tell this in every conference, and even Isanka mentioned, individual contribution is very important. So if we can consider having sustainable, healthy diets without wasting food, and also reducing food waste and all other waste. As SDG 12 says, if we can really implement responsible consumption and production, it will help a lot in achieving this SDG 13 climate action as well. So that's where we should be heading, individual level action, not only national and global level action. So there are also other options like shift to more electric and hydrogen powered vehicles, low carbon fuels. So some airlines like Lufthansa, they have started producing fuels with materials such as used cooking oil, animal fat waste, sugar and other products. And that way they are planning to reduce their fossil fuel emissions by 65 to 80% in their flights. So there is also this solar kerosene made from sunlight. So like that, there are these innovative solutions that global nations and corporate sector have come up with. And so if we can especially address the issues in energy sector, we should be able to reduce at least a significant part of the greenhouse gas emissions. So this figure is from the International Energy Agency, from their roadmap to reach net zero by 2050. So now every organization, IUCN, IEA, all global countries, member countries of the Paris Agreement, now all of us are on this race to reduce our emissions. So national level action is also very important. So in Sri Lanka, we have our own NDCs targeting different sectors, mitigation NDCs and adaptation NDCs under these different sectors. I'm sure you all have your own NDCs within your countries, as you all are also member countries of the Paris Agreement, I think. So, so this is a difficult target to achieve, the temperature target and also the mitigation requirement under the Paris Agreement. It's not easy to achieve, and national level action plays a key role, and our personal behavior is very important. Think globally, act locally, we say. So I wish actually even these plastic bottles on the table were just water bottles or some mugs with water, glass, if it had glass also. So I think all the hotels, everybody need to think about our behavioral change, attitudinal change. Use only what you want. Instead of plastic, you can use glass bottles or carry a cloth bag and minimize your waste. Eat only what you really need and serve what you only want to serve. That way you will help reduce greenhouse gas emissions, methane emissions at landfill sites and all other greenhouse gas emissions. So as individuals, we have the biggest role to play, because at the end we are the people who are deciding the global society, economy and everything. So our personal behavior is very important. So we minimize waste generation, energy consumption. I wish there was fuel lights in this hall. Even renewable energy, low carbon industry, technology innovations, all these are very important. Carbon sequestration at ecosystem levels, including marine and coastal ecosystems. So blue carbon is also something very important that the global nations are talking about now. So our conference theme, considering all this is the background, is to have effective and innovative solutions for achieving net zero. And we have so far had 7 conferences since 2017 with different conference themes. And so when you applied, those participants, when you applied, we had a list of conference tracks. And this is the list of conference tracks we had at the beginning. And then, as Ishank also briefed, during this 2-day conference, we will have 15 technical sessions, physical and virtual, and keynote and plenary speeches, a publication workshop, and at the end of the day tomorrow, there will be the award ceremony. And these are the list of conference sessions that we will be having today and tomorrow. And that's all I have to say. And I hope you all will have a very fruitful conference, because every time this conference has been very successful. Everybody really learned something and enjoyed it. So I hope you all will get the maximum benefit out of it. And I really want to thank Isanka's team, TIIKM. Isanka has a very good, dedicated team, and it has always been a pleasure to partner with you and your team, Isanka, because you always want to do something really good. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope you all will have a good conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear madam, for enlightening us with your kind words and wisdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to have Mr. Leel Randhani, the Director of Climate Change of the Ministry of Environment in Sri Lanka, as the chief guest. Mr. Leel Randhani joined the ministry in 1998 and assigned with various tasks as biodiversity conventions and sustainable use, environment education and promotion, pollution control, environment policy and planning, environmental economics, and etc. He obtained his bachelor's degree from the Faculty of Agriculture of the University of Peradeniya and had MSc in Environmental Economics from the University of Peradeniya and postgraduate diploma in Applied Sociology from University of Colombo. He exposed to diverse training opportunities in Sri Lanka and overseas as well. Mr. Leel Randhani, it's over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation and warm welcome to this 8th International Conference. And it is a great pleasure and it is an honor for us, I mean the Ministry of Environment, the Climate Change Secretariat, the national focal point for the United Nations Framework Convention, for inviting us for this very important, valuable event that you gathered here to share your knowledge and all. So really it is a pleasure to say a few words as the guest speaker today. Shall I start from what was little while ago our consultant, national consultant for agriculture, forestry and other land use sector project. Now it is ongoing project. Professor Randhati mentioned that we have to think globally and act locally. And at the same time, so she emphasized that the Paris Agreement target, I mean the having our average temperatures relative to the pre-industrial levels until less than 2 degrees centigrade is not easy task. So it is a bit of an arduous task. So she further suggested that we have to think of our lifestyles and how we can change our behavior patterns and all, because yes, very correct. I mean, this global warming happened because of our behavior patterns. But we have broken down the issue and somewhat strategically externalized the cause that the issue is that greenhouse gases are there. So the levels are increasing. So globe is warming. Warming, not only warming, but according to this Antonio Guterres, the UN high top official, now we have passed the warming level. Now it is being boiled now. It's getting boiled. So we are also experiencing. So, but we have externalized the causes from us, that the greenhouse gases are there. So there are industrial units and all. So indiscriminate use of fossil fuels and all, and clearance of the vegetation cover and lot of different things. But hardly I have seen in this climate discourse occasions that we are questioning ourselves. So the major responsible person for this disaster, and at the same time that is also hardly seen or not seen completely, and suggestions to change ourselves. I mean the how we can achieve that transformational change. So that is a great thing, great challenge that we have to, knowledge generating officials, who are involved in research and who are presenting research, who are exploring the literature, what has been done, what are the suggestions, what is the scientific community's thinking on this, are there any innovative way, here the effective and innovative solutions for achieving net zero. So that is your slogan. So that is the challenge. So the professionals, researchers should try to find out the ways and means how we can alter how we can transform ourselves. If I suggest you, or if I question you, we are worried about this pre-industrial continuing, sustaining our average temperature increase relative to the pre-industrial level temperature. So if I suggest you, how will it be if we try to go for pre-industrial level livelihoods? Has any one of you researchers thought how we can suggest what are the innovative ways that we can march back, we can go forward, go backward? Going backward is not possible. We try and go forward to the backward lifestyles, but we have forgotten and ignored badly. Those are the pre-industrial level livelihoods. Simply, I can develop a relationship, correlation. Pre-industrial levels were nicer because these greenhouse gases were indiscriminately increased because of our industrial livelihoods and unsustainable living patterns. So we were very nice and we were resilient. We were living in the carrying capacity of the ecosystem before the pre-industrial levels. So then why are you not thinking in that way? If you think in that way, I really respect you. You are really thinking in an innovative way. You understand? So that is my message as the Director Climate Change here. You see, as the national focal point, we have a lot of different documents. We have done all the requirements to the UNFCCC. You see, NDC action plan, NDC implementation plan, all the 16 sectors covered, mitigation, adaptation, loss and damage, means of implementation and everything. National adaptation plans, provincial adaptation plans, provincial climate boards and everything. We have a nice setup in Sri Lanka. You see, if you visit my office, I can give you copies of these documents also, and those are available in the internet. You see, recently we have participated this COP28, was in Dubai. A lot of different parties, there are closer to 200 different UN parties for this convention. They have met, they gathered there. All the countries have these provisions, the requirement for the NDC, for the UNFCCC, the NDC implementation plan, action plan, national adaptation plan. We have net zero roadmap and the strategic plan, and the presidential secretariat had this climate prosperity plan. But you see, it is still, we have national committees, steering committees, and the national focal points, sectoral focal points, community CSO forums. You understand, indigenous people also, we are networked. But still, I don't think we have not tuned ourselves to the real climate issue. So that is my genuine message to you. Thank you very much for the organizers, and I welcome for the foreign delegates who are participating us. It's a real pleasure to have you with us. Nice, beautiful country. You know, we are one of a global biodiversity hotspot. More than 80% of our country covered pristine ecosystems, and we are one of the highest endemism reported in Sri Lanka. So if you have time, you visit Sri Lanka. It might be your first time. With that few remarks, I really stop here. Thank you very much, and I wish you good luck and wish you to have a nice deliberations for this very important knowledge generation and sharing event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leel Randhani, for your amazing and insightful speech. Now it's time to deliver the token of appreciation to Mr. Leel Randhani. For that, I would like to invite the conference chair, Professor Erandati Lokupitiya, and our managing director and the co-founder of TIIKM, Mr. Isank P. Gamage, to deliver the special token of appreciation to Mr. Leel Randhani. Thank you so much, everyone. Last, but definitely not the least, we have a wonderful conference photograph to be taken. The 8th International Conference on Climate Change consists of 90 plus participants from 25 plus different countries. So we are excited to get you all together in a one frame. I would like to invite all our participants to go near the registration table and also our virtual participants to be ready for the group photograph. My dear virtual participants,
කරන්ට් කපුවනේ කරන්ට් ගියත් ලයිට් තියෙන නම් තත්ත්වයෙන් ඉහළ green electric rechargeable LED බල්බම තෝරාගන්න. විදුලි බලය නොමැතිව පැය 4ක් පුරා දැල්වෙන වසරක වගකීමක් සහිත එකම බල්බය. green electric රටම එළියයි ප්‍රමිතියෙන් ඉහළයි.
තෙදිනි විරාජ රුවිනි විරාජ
මාර්ගම ජාතික තරුණ සේවා සභාවේ යොවුන් රංගහලේ පැවති කොළඹ අශෝක විද්‍යාලයේ කුමර රැඟුම් ප්‍රසංගය පෙබරවාරි මාස